You have done the research, you have watched the videos, you have read the forums. And when you finally hit the road, reality will disagree with almost all of it. In this video, I'm gonna tell you why. Welcome back. Before you buy anything, even if it costs only a couple of dollars, you search online for reviews from people who already own it. That is just a common sense, right? But in the motorcycle world, people still trust their dealers, or to people who have never ridden it further than the borders of their states. Think about that. Someone buys a specific model, own it for a couple of weeks, never travel with it, but suddenly becomes a source of advice. How much can that person actually knows? Or even worse, people who got a motorcycle for a couple of hours and then make a detailed review about the model and how it performs in any kind of riding and weather situations or conditions, anything. I have also done many motorcycle reviews, but I always supported my words with my own experience as a motorcycle traveler. Of course, you will decide whom to believe, but I have a question for you. Will you leave your kid in a swimming pool with an instructor that just learned how to swim? He might know all the theory in the world, but the theory and water are two completely different things. And when it comes to the life of my kids or myself, man, things are serious. The road is no different. A few days ago, someone left a comment in one of my videos. Let me read it exactly as it is. Of course, I will hide his details. That YouTuber you're referring to is a very accomplished and experienced adventure rider as well as a qualified engineer. Of course, I said nothing about it. And his reply, not sure it's wise to back others on YouTube. And my reply, being well-known does not mean being wrong, but it also does not mean being right. Where exactly was he traveling and when did he become an experienced adventure rider? I'm not here to discredit anyone. There are thousands of people on YouTube and in social media in general doing honest and useful work. But I want you to be a little bit more skeptical and always check the taste before you bite anything. This reminds me about a story. Many years ago, I asked a friend of mine where I can fix my car. Does he know someone with good reputation or stuff like that? And my friend pointed out a local garage. And when I asked him, do you know them? Are they good? He said, well, I don't know. They're engineers. And I insisted, yes, but are they good? And he said, I don't know. Just because someone is qualified engineer doesn't mean automatically that he is good in what he is doing. The title cannot confirm the work. Maybe they are good, maybe they are not. Maybe it's Bulgarian thing. Because of our history, the way we grew up, the way we live, we just never trust blindly on people. And that habit saved me many times on the road. With all of this in mind, let's now see what is wrong with the modern motorcycle world. Number one, the bigger the better. In the last 10 years, every major motorcycle brand has been competing to build the biggest, the most powerful adventure motorcycle. As a result, now we have Honda Africa Twin Adventure, the Ducati Desert X, the BMW 1300 GS Adventure, the Triumph Tiger 1200, the KTM 1290 and 1390 Adventure, and the list goes on. In reality, the bigger and the heavier your motorcycle is, the more difficult every single day of your trip becomes. There is only one exception: if you travel with a passenger and plan to spend all of your time on the highways. But in this situation, having the word adventure in the name of your motorcycle won't help much. Number two, never-ending features. It all started with ABS, then came ride-by-wire, cruise control, traction control, hill assist, distance control, auxiliary lights, TFT displays, and dozens of other features I cannot even remember. And now, only a few years into this madness, and dealers trying to convince me that I cannot travel if I don't have all of this. This reminds me about a funny story. A man went to a local wedding, and when the pastor announced that the bride is still virgin, that man leans over his friend's shoulder and said, I don't know who to believe, the pastor or my friend down there. The title does not confirm the experience. Please remember that. Number 3. Hard panniers are what you need. Hard panniers or soft luggage? This debate has been going on forever and there is no one universal answer. What I want you to remember from this video is that the comfort of the hard panniers comes at high price to buy it and an extra 15 kilograms before you decided to put anything inside. I have covered more than 400,000 kilometers across 80 countries, 5 different continents, and I never felt the need for hard panniers. But that's me. Use whatever system works for you and enjoy your trips. Number 4. Tubes versus tubeless. The same story. They both have their pros and cons, and you should not believe that one is superior to the other. Just because tubeless is easy to fix does not automatically mean that you will be able to do it every time in every situation. A bent rim, for example, will stop you from traveling at all. Sometimes the comfort becomes our worst enemy. Number 5. Adventure modifications madness. This is another topic that is discussed a lot online. In reality, the things that you really need on the road are not that many. I recently made a video on this topic and you can watch it here if you haven't already. Number 6. A big gas tank is a must. It is true that in some destinations extra fuel might be needed, but it is also true that you can easily and cheaply improvise. My Tenere 700, for example, has only 16 liters in its petrol tank, and I rode all the way from Varna to Magadan and back 39,000 kilometers, and only in one section, about 420-430 kilometers, I needed extra gas, extra petrol. And for that purpose, I used one very simple and cheap petrol can when I need it. And when I crossed this section, I just left it on the road. And let's be honest, 95% of people who already bought this big fuel tank will never need it. And just because you have it does not eliminate the risk of running out of gas on the road. For example, if you skip a gas station after 250 kilometers because you have a big tank and you still have petrol to the next one, just to realize that the next doesn't work, or the petrol is finished, or anything else. The size of your tank changes nothing. The risk is still there, but in the end, it is your trip, your money, do whatever you like. Number 7. High fender. This is another popular modification that many riders make. The idea behind it is that if you go into deep mud, it will stuck between your tire and your fender, and this will be a problem. And that is true, this will be a problem, but let's be honest, how many of the owners of so-called adventure motorcycles will decide to go into deep mud? You have to understand that this is not a dirt bike, and its purpose is not there. It might happen in very rare situations. I'm not saying that it's impossible, of course it might happen, but if for any reason you find yourself in the middle of the mud, you can just remove the fender, a couple of bolts, go out of this section and then put it back again. So what is the purpose of having something that you might need in very rare situations, let's say 1% of your trips, to have this fender all the time? First of all, it's extremely ugly. I haven't seen so far a big adventure motorcycle with high fender that it's pretty. All of them are ridiculous in my opinion. Also, because of this high fender, you will feel it like a sail on the highways, especially on the side wind. Your motorcycle will move like this. And also all the mud, all the stones and sands and everything will go directly to your radiator and the bottom part of the engine. And this will harm much more than the low fender ever will. In this Tenere, for example, you can lift the fender with almost like 1 centimeter from these two bolts here and just have more distance between the tire and the fender. And also the version from AirTech will give you even more gap, almost like a 1 inch more, and that is a simple solution. You don't need to go for this, as I said, ridiculous option. Before I end this video, I want to tell you something very important, and I really hope that you will listen. The outcome of any trip never depends on the motorcycle. You're the person who will determine what the experience will be. what decisions you make, how you react in specific situations, how prepared you are for unexpected obstacles, or how well you can recognize dangerous moments before they even happen. I talk about all of these things in my online course Adventure Riding Without Illusions. In just 6 hours you can gain the information that took me more than 15 years to learn. You can find the link in the description down below. I hope that this video will help you at least one person. Press like or dislike, whatever it deserves. If you subscribe, even better. See you in the next one.